The Shire, 1419. Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin are returning to the Shire after the marriage of Aragorn and Arwen, and the meeting with Bilbo at Rivendell. They had just said goodbye to Gandalf, who had just left to speak with Tom Bombadil. They believe that the horror of the ring is now far behind them. They have no idea what's about to happen. It was November the 2nd, 1419 of the Shire Reckoning. The Hobbit quartet reached the gate at the Brandywine River and encounter fellow hobbits, telling them that they cannot enter. Sam recognizes one of them, Hob Hayward, and orders them to let them through. The Hobbit guards tell them of the sheaf, but the sheaf's exact identity is unknown, although the four hobbits believe it may be Mr. Lotto. The Hobbit guards give in and let the quartet enter. They go inside the guardhouse and have dinner before sleeping. The next morning, they travel down the east road and find out that some gatherers are taking the majority of the harvest and leaving a small ration for the residents of the Shire. After some time, they are stopped by sheriffs who attempt to arrest them. However, the quartet simply laugh them off and play along, allowing themselves to be quote-unquote arrested. At the Three Farthing Stone, they give it up, being exhausted of traveling for so long. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon when they leave the sheriffs behind. As they travel upwards to Bywater and Hobbiton, they witness the horrific destruction of the Shire and notice a chimney at Bag End. They don't realize the importance of this location, as one of their old enemies will meet their doom at the house at Bag End. The hobbits soon learn about the mysterious Sharky. They've no clue who he is, and neither does anybody in the Shire. At Bywater, the quartet decide to raise the Shire in rebellion. Merry cries the horn call of Buckland, and to the astonishment of Frodo, Sam, and Pippin, the residents of the Shire shout back in response. Farmer Cotton and several others are the first to respond, racing out of their homes carrying weapons, such as clubs, axes, large knives, and hunting bows. Before they know it, hundreds of hobbits, all armed for battle, arrive, and they light a fire in demonstration of defiance at the strict rules enforced by Sharky. Pippin rides to Tookborough, planning to return with a small militia of Tooks. Hobbit scouts warn Captain Meriadoc of the ruffian army arriving from Waymeet, also known as Weymouth. A squad of ruffians arrive, and after a standoff between Merry, Farmer Cotton, and the ruffian leader, he orders his men to attack the hobbits after realizing he's surrounded. He brandishes a large knife and a club and attacks Merry, but he is shot down by 4 hobbit arrows. The rest of the ruffians surrender. The ruffian leader is buried. The next day, they arrive at what is now the Bywater battleground. Merry had previously made a plan to trap the ruffian army and force them to surrender. They set up roadblocks at the Bywater Road and hide on the banks that are on both sides of the Bywater Road. The ruffian army marches straight into the trap. The Battle of Bywater is about to begin. The ruffians encounter the roadblocks and they stop, not realizing they've walked into a trap. Captain Meriadoc now proudly stands and orders the confused ruffians to lay down their arms, telling them that they are outnumbered and outmaneuvered. In truth, they are. Pippin returned with 100 Tooks, and Merry brought with him 200 Bucklanders, and an unknown number of Hobbit residents also joined the force at Bywater. A rebellion was also set up in Tookland. The ruffians refused to surrender, and they charged the hobbits, attempting to climb the steep banks. Some 20 ruffians managed to escape the pocket, after leaving 2 hobbits and 6 of their own dead. No more ruffians managed to escape the pocket. The rest fight on, and are hewn by axes and shot dead by hobbit arrows. The few ruffians who do manage to break through the pocket are overtaken by the urge to kill, and continue to fight the hobbits, which inevitably gets themselves killed. Captain Meriadoc kills the ruffian leader. By the end of the bloodbath, 70 ruffians lay dead on the battlefield. The remaining 12 ruffians are taken prisoner. 19 hobbits are dead, and another 30 are wounded. Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin reach Bag End and enter the house that was built there. They encounter Sharky, or rather, Saruman. As he leaves Bag End, he makes one last attempt at killing Frodo. His knife bends on Frodo's hidden mithril coat. Sam and 12 other hobbits throw Saruman on the ground. Saruman then blames the death of Lotto on Grima after Frodo tells Grima he needs not follow Saruman. Grima, in a fit of rage, slits Saruman's throat, killing him before Frodo can react. Grima is shot dead by 3 hobbit arrows. Saruman's spirit rises in a grey mist, but is blown away into nothingness by a wind from the west. Manwë did not want him back. The bloodshed at the Shire then came to an end, and so did the War of the Ring. Sam is married, and Frodo leaves with Bilbo to the Grey Havens. Sam's dust from Lothlorien causes a great harvest of 1420, and altogether the year of 1420 was a marvelous one for the Shire. And so peace returned to Middle-earth, once and for all.